We are live. Welcome to another FGTN show. This is an on-site, on-premise special. As you can see in the title, in the thumbnail of this episode, we are on-site here at ICAST 2025. And I'm excited to say that I got into the preview, if you will. The real exhibit floor show doesn't start until tomorrow, and then it goes the next couple of days here. So today was the new product showcase, where you get to see all of the entries that brands have. There's more new products than what show up in the new product showcase. They said there was over 800 products that were in the new product showcase this year. I looked at almost all of them, some of the tackle, the reels, and the rods. I didn't really look at a ton because there's just a ton of them, and we really specialize on the gear and the tech side of it. So tonight, what we're going to do is I took a ton of photos. I didn't get enough time. I literally just got done at the show. I got all my stuff here. I unloaded stuff, got set up for the show, ate some dinner, and here we are. We're live. So we're going to go through. I think I have a photo roll of about 150, 200 photos. I got some videos. I'll show you some of the clips. We're going to do a ton this week. So not super organized right now, but please drop down in the comments as we go and right now, what are you most excited about hearing about and seeing? I will show you glimpses, probably some bad photos, some bad video, stuff that I haven't edited and cleaned up totally yet. But if you want to see more about a certain product or a category, please drop it down below, because I have time the next few days to actually do interviews, do proper videos. So let me know. I'm excited to see you all. I'm rocking energy drinks, man. I have been up for way too many hours, and it's just going to be a fun power through week. We got Blaine tuning in. Nice to see you here. Member of the channel. Appreciate that. Quentin, what's going on? What's going on, man? John, another channel member. Appreciate all of you channel members so much for the support. And I love everybody else as well for watching the videos, tuning in, chatting in the comments. I appreciate it. Dr. Auger is saying, what's up? So cool that you made it to ICAST. Yes, it is exciting this year. Thank you from the Lundy's New Electronics. Yes, I love the electronics, so I'll for sure be leaning into that. Hope to see you there. D-Money twitching? Yeah, shoot me a DM. Let me know where you're at. If you're here, would love to run into you tomorrow or something. Chris, evening. Mac, what's up? Okay, all right. Let's get my mug off the screen here, and let's talk about ICAST. So real quick, I want to show you what this experience is kind of like. We're not going to go super in depth, but it's in the Orange County Convention Center, the South Hall. This place is massive. Same place it is, I think, every year. It was for sure last year. Last year was my first time going. This is my second time going, and it's basically rinse and repeat. So they have this big thing set up outside. The welcome area that you see, I'll try to zoom in here, all the way in the back. There's escalators that go down, and that's where the kind of the big exhibit floor space is, and the new product showcase is, and only certain badges can get into that in order to be able to do some of the voting and those types of things. So that's why I was able to get in a little bit early. So this is kind of the first thing that you see here. And then what I'll do, I'm going to mute this here. We'll share this tab. I did a little video clip of just like going down, then you go down the escalator, right? And like, this is dead. There's not a lot of people here right now because this is pre-show. And then as you walk in, right, they're checking badges to make sure, are you allowed to be in at this time? You can see behind all of those blue curtains is where a lot of the actual show exhibitors are still setting up for tomorrow. And then let's pop this guy over here. We've got... in here is where the new product showcase is. So you can see it's stanchioned off, it's walled off. Once you get inside of there, that's where the 800 new products are. You can see they have the new product showcase thing up here on the wall. They have the explanation of everything here on the kind of the banners and stuff like that. So that's where I'm going to be going into shortly. But first, they pull everybody over to this big area here. You can see a bunch of people congregating. There's more over here. There's actually a little stage in the corner. I can kind of show you on this video here. There's a stage over here where they did some announcements beforehand, maybe 5-10 minutes, and then everybody's going in. There's another entrance over here as well. And then once you're in, this is what it looks like. let me go ahead and mute this. Once you get in, it's all tables. All those tables are filled with brand new products. So I'm kind of panning the whole area in this shot here. They've got drinks and some hors d'oeuvres and appetizers and things out for people. You know, they want people to feel welcomed. This runs 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at night on the day before the show. So the first thing that we go into here are the kayaks. They're, well, I should say watercraft and boating categories. So these are some of the new things. So you're going to see Hobie. I'll kind of walk through each of them and talk over it because I don't have the audio going right now. This one was a really interesting new product. This is the Silent North. It's an inflatable, but it's like almost like a boat. It's called a Catamaran Explorer Twin Hulls Serious Stability. This says it's an inflatable board built for anglers seeking comfort, space, and performance with twin pontoons and a rigid drop stitch deck. Double hull platform offers exceptional stability, perfect for casting, standing, or relaxing. A sealable front compartment keeps gear dry. It's actually pretty cool. And the inflatable seat provides all-day comfort. Add a motor to the SN14A into a nimble craft for trolling or exploring. It's $9.99. Yes, not cheap, but a heck of a lot cheaper than a lot of boats that are out there. So I thought this was kind of interesting. So I'll show you a little bit around this, and then we'll move to the next one. We won't be able to spend a ton of time on each of these products because, again, there's just so many here. But I'll show you. So up here, each of these are basically storage pockets. You can put things in there. You got a handle there that you want to hold. And then what I'm trying to get in there, there's actually a zipper down the middle that opens up right there. This is the all enclosed storage space right on the front there. I don't show it very good in the camera here, but that's how that works. And of course, there's a paddle that you can paddle it with. You got rod holders in the back, and then you can hook up a trolling motor to it, an outboard motor, a small outboard, an electric motor to it, or whatever you want to do. This looks like it's set up for an electric trolling motor on it as well. Pretty straightforward, kind of cool, super lightweight, obviously, because it is inflatable. So let's move on to the next one here. We've got another kayak. This is a really low profile. It's the Profish 400 from Viking Kayaks. This is $1,500. The whole idea here is lightweight, stealth, speedy kayak. It's packed with a punch. You got a bunch of things that come with it. So I'll kind of zoom out here, show you the outside of it, and kind of keep rolling here. So you can see you sit kind of down in it. Super lightweight though. This is the boat. So each of these categories. So this is I think the boating and the watercraft category, I think is what it was called, right? Each of these categories you can vote for. And like I've got a sheet. I'll show you in a photo what it looks like. But I've got a sheet that actually says for you type where you write in who you're voting for. And so tomorrow, I think it's at like 2 or 3 p.m., they'll do for each of these categories, there'll be a winner for each of them. And so for this category, my guess, I haven't turned in my card yet. I think I have until 1 o'clock tomorrow to turn my card in. So I took it with me, and I'm going to think about it tonight, and I'm going to vote and get it in there. Nobody pays me for my vote. So N of 1 will at least be an honest vote. I'm going to vote for this. I think this thing's going to win. And here's why. This isn't just any other kayak. Look at this. What does this say? What does this say? It's from Flux Jet Kayaks, the world's first electric jet kayak. This is an electric jet kayak. How freaking awesome is that? Granted, it's not cheap, but this is a lot cheaper than other high-end kayaks that are out there. There's other kayaks that are out there $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. I just saw a YouTube video on one that was $10,999. Obviously, it's not here at this show, but like kayaks are starting to get crazy expensive. So here is one that's $2,749, and it has a electric jet motor in it, which I think is pretty cool. And if you pause the screen right here, or take a look at it while I have it paused here, or come back to it, this QR code, and I'll try to add links to all these if I get a chance here at some point in the next week down in the description. But if you scan that QR code, it'll tell you more about this specific product as well. But let's zoom out. Let's actually look at the kayak. I think I zoom out here. Okay, here we go. So coming from the seat, You've got the battery that goes under the seat, and then you've got like this control panel. How cool is this thing? So you've got battery capacity, voltage. You've got your USB, which I'll flip up here if I recall. You've got a USB-C and a USB-A charging ports under there, which is awesome. You've got a rod holder. You've got foot steering. You've got an axis up here to get into the inside of the kayak. You've got aluminum T-tracks kind of in all around this thing, a nice good back area. And there it is. That's the jet motor area where that's coming out. And you can see it's enclosed on the bottom. So like this thing can get super shallow. Like you guys know I have, well, if you're not new to the channel, you know I've got a boat. I've got a Lund Pro V. And I'm honestly like thinking about getting back into kayak fishing next year. Like, of course, I'm not going to get rid of my boat, but thinking about getting a kayak, and how cool would a jet kayak be? I want to do some research because I don't know how fast this thing can go, but just the idea of being able to go pretty much anywhere because you don't have any prop or anything kind of underneath the hull of the boat. You don't really need to worry about hitting anything. This thing's plastic. If you know me, I like to run into rocks, so that could be a good idea. But anyways, moving on to the next is this guy right here. So this is from RAILBLAZA. This is the Mule. So this is, of course, a sit on top, and you've got a nice chair with double padding. They've got their little kayak crate back here in the back. It's about a 12 by 12 interior. So about a square foot is what it looked like to me. I didn't have a tape measure with, but that's what it looked like. Maybe it was 16 inches tall instead of 12 inside of it. But then you've got a couple rod holders on the back of the seat. Your seat can swivel. You can see the double foam padding there. Nice foam padding on the back. It looked comfortable. But again, this is an inflatable hybrid fishing kayak. It's $1,300. These inflatables are like the new big thing. You've got a really nice storage pouch up front. Of course, it's got mesh on the side, so it's not waterproof. Of course, you don't have any in-hull storage here because this is a inflatable, so you're not going to have that, and it's not a like high sides where you'd have any storage cavities or anything like that. And then another one that we had is a circular guy. This has got one seat on it right now, but it's another inflatable. Look at this. But they do have an option where you can actually put two seats on it. So it's a two-seater, and then there's a rod holder for each person. $1,500, tandem fishing platforms, 2 seats, 1 solid catch. So you can cast line, soak in the view. Yeah, so that is what they're saying about this guy. I feel like there was another one, but I think it was like a late ad. Here's the Hobie, the ITREK angle. So this is another inflatable. So you can see inflatables are taking off this year. And we're going to move on past this category here in a second because I know not everybody's interested in this. We got a lot of fun stuff coming up, including ice fishing stuff. So this is this guy. It's really decked out, right? They've got the nice rails on the sides, a nice mesh seat here that sits a little bit lower, so you're not going to be as top heavy on it. It's a nice setup here. You've got definitely a lot of tie down points. You've got a mounting spot in the back for if you wanted to put a motor or something on it. You've got the rod racks on the side here. You can see the 3 that are on the right here. So you can actually tie down 3 rods alongside of the board rather than up vertically in the air, which is pretty nice as well. All right, let's flip back here into some of the photos. So this is what it looks like for the people that get to vote. So this is my registration ID, basically my badge number. Of course, I didn't fill it out yet, but these are the different categories. And so every product, all the 800 plus products, so they claim, that are in this new product showcase, I didn't count them, obviously. It's a lot to count. You put in the 3-digit code off of that tag. So those tags that you saw and you're going to see more of, they all have a code on them. They start with one of these letter categories, which aligns to a category. And then there's 3 numbers that come after it. And so you put it in there, and then that's how you vote. You turn it in. There's a box there. And so this is how it works, in case you are wondering. So we already talked about the kayak, so I'm going to switch past them. but like I'm super excited about this jet one. I'm going to definitely do some more looking into it and probably a video just on it. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about that guy. Then the custom tackle and components we can talk about next. There is, just taking a note here to get more on that jet kayak because I think there's some interest there. I'm sure we'll see each other. Hopping through comments before we go in here. I like the orange one, all electric in the back. Yes, yeah, the one I just talked about. The voting format was awesome. It's the same as it was last year. I feel like there were more less categories this year. What's the weight capacity? I am in on that kayak. Which kayak, John? Let me know which one. I didn't see when you made the comment. Let me know which one, and I'll get you a weight on it, a weight capacity. Mac is laughing. The Rock comment. I mean, it's true. I mean, don't get me wrong. New Old Town kayak, maybe. Well, this year, no. I showed you all of them. There is one other kayak that did show up at the very end of the night in there that wasn't in any of the footage I just showed you. They put it up front in the corner. I'll see if I have a photo because I went back through to take photos of the kayaks at the end, kind of right around 8 o'clock. So when we get to the bottom of my camera roll here, I'll go back and see if there is a new kayak in there. Otherwise, I'll get information on it tomorrow. He said, new ice gear, time to go, broke. There's actually not a ton. So last year, Clam Outdoors was here. And they had quite a few new product releases. And so that's where a lot of it came from. Clam is not here this year. Striker is here this year. Rapala is here. Strike Master's here because it's a Rapala brand. And then some of the others like Sims. You've got what's the big snowmobile gear brand, FXR, right? So they're here, and there's a few of the brands which you'll see when we get to it. I just need to focus here and then actually get to it. The Jet one, I'll look at the Jet kayak. I'll do a whole video on the Jet kayak. I'll swing by it tomorrow. We'll talk more about it in tomorrow night. We're gonna do a live stream tonight, tomorrow night, and the next night. Those are the 3 nights that I will be at the show beforehand. And so we'll do a live stream every one of those nights. And if you are a member, John, of the channel, I'll be doing lives in the mornings as well for members only to get your questions answered too. And so maybe I'll swing by that one live with you as well and then shoot a video after. Sorry I wasn't here for when you showed them. Oh, no worries, no worries. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and zoom back, Nathan, if you want. Totally cool. So there is a ton of these things. Like, so they have, this is which category did I say this was? Custom tackle and components. So they've got things like molds in here. There's a lot of, in my opinion, not interesting stuff. And there's a ton of tackle, like a ton. But like Tackle Warehouse is here. What's the Aggressively Average Anglers is a YouTube channel that I watch. I don't know if any of you guys watch them. They do a great job around kayak stuff and then also tackle rods and reels and stuff. Like that is their niche. So like I don't try to duplicate that effort. Let them own it because they do such a dang good job with it. But if you want to know more about like the specific tackle, the rods and the reels, I'll touch on some of the rods because I thought some of those were interesting. But definitely there's a lot of other places that you can get content. Everybody kind of specializes in their own area. We really focus on anything ice fishing. And then of course, cool new gear and tech is really what we look at. But they've got molds here. This is a huge like thing that it's called, I think it was called like the Ghost. I don't have it here. I have it in the video though, but this is like the Ghost pod. It says on the green things here. So essentially what this is you hook it up here at the top and you drag it in the water. You can drag it behind a jet ski, behind a boat. And these little green things essentially act as bait fish in the water. And of course you can swap them out if you want as well and put hooks on these. But this is essentially, it's supposed to show up somewhat invisible in the water because it's so clear. And then I don't know. I thought it was interesting. Obviously, for us freshwater fishermen, that might be a little aggressive. Depending on where you live, here's an A rig. I know you can't like hook this whole thing up necessarily. Every state's has different legalities, so make sure that you look at it beforehand. But they've got things like A rigs there, so you can see some of the stuff is like, oh, that's cool, but it's not like the most exciting thing in the world. They've got things like this right here, which is more molds, different mold systems here, buckets and accessories for the different mold systems. I just wanted to check something really quick here. Yeah, this is all ICAST stuff. Okay, I wasn't sure if I had some other things in here, but I don't. Okay, so then after we get past those molds, one of the things that I thought was interesting here is there's one of these in the ice fishing area as well, but it's a build your own fishing rod. So it's essentially a kit. This is a $200 kit. I think the ice fishing one is $150, but it's a rod building kit. This is for spinning rods. And so it gives you the rod blank, it gives you all of the components, and it shows you and tells you exactly how you can build your own rod. So if you want to get into rod building, you've never done it before, you don't know where to start, you don't know, this gives you a good way to start. And then from there you can say, all right, I now know what components and things that I need, and then you can go and kind of get into it. So it's a great way to get into it. Or if you're looking for a hobby for, you know, or an activity to do, if you've got little ones that you want to get into it or something like that, this could be a good option. Let's flip past these tags. I thought this was interesting. This is called the new Eco Head. This is from PlastTools. No leads, no tungsten. They're essentially different weighted jigs that you can essentially pour and put on here, but they are not tungsten and they are not lead. They're made from a groundbreaking lead and tungsten-free material. EcoHead redefines terminal tackle customization. It's moldable into any shape or size. It allows limitless design flexibility based on customer need. It's strong, eco-responsible, and fully adaptable to the future of tackle components. I thought it was interesting, but this is what it is. If you are interested in checking it out, you can go check them out on their website. Then they got a lot of other random things in here. Busby release some stickers. Like, these are the types of things that, like, I'm just like, why is this in the new product showcase? It's literally their labels for like a tackle box. Like, so this is some of the stuff that you see that I'm just going to skip over some of this funky stuff. Like, there's a rod butts in here and stuff like that. So I'm not going to show everything. Here's like a table of a bunch of line. I don't get really excited about line, so I didn't go super deep into here's the new thing about the Sunline. But if you want to know or you heard some things here and you want me to go check it out, I will 100% go look at it, drop a comment either in the live here or in the replays if you're watching on the replay squad, and then I'll go back out and I'll check. If there's a line that you want to see or something else here at the show, literally almost every brand is here. If you want to know if a brand's here, you can just go to ICAST. Just Google ICAST, go to the website. You can see all the exhibitors that are there. So again, here's the kayaks. Here's some terminal tackle. So this is from Lunker Hunt. I thought this one was a little bit interesting. This is the Impact NATO. And so you can see what it looks like here. You've got kind of your minnow head style jig head. You've got a nice ELASTEC or plastic keeper on the hook here. A nice durable hook, and then you've got your flasher there on the top as well. One thing that I'll notice, some of these products are not new as in they've never been seen in the world before today. Some of these are products that have been released since the last ICAST, and so they can, since they were released after ICAST last year, they technically can get into the new product showcase, which I think is interesting. VMC has the Minnow Shaker Jig. So these are some newer jigs that they are coming out with. And I think these are tungsten. I want to say tungsten was a big thing that was really taking over a lot of this category, is what I had noticed. And for some reason, I can't see if this is tungsten or lead. I don't know. It doesn't say. Here's something from, I think this is Acme. Yeah, Acme Tackle Gold Glow Willow Blade in treble hook kits. Super small. I see this is something that you can, of course, tie on to a lot of different lures that you use for open water, but then also even for ice fishing. This is a relatively small size. This one right here, I don't know if it says the different sizes that they have. 3 different sizes, standard blade with the number 6 treble, or small blade with a number 8 or number 10 treble, and it's 2 kits per pack for $6. So not breaking the bank, pretty simple stuff, but you can get into that if you want. I thought this was interesting from Acme, the Moonshine Lures Mirrored Flasher. This thing is big. This is like 11 inches long is how big this thing is. Pretty crazy, right? They got a 5.5 and an 8. Euro Tackle. Is this Euro Tackle? No, this is Z-Man. Z-Man has their llama tube jig heads that they released. So you can see how it gets overwhelming. Like there's a ton of different types of hooks here. So let's get past some of the tackle here. This I thought was interesting. So this is called the Power Pucks. This is essentially, let's look at the tag here because they explain it pretty well. The Power Pucks. The Power Pucks Extreme is designed for all Minn Kota Quest series trolling motors. So if you have a Minn Kota Quest series trolling motor, and I'm sure they probably have or will have at some point in the future, or somebody will make something similar to this for other ones as well. You can say goodbye to those unsightly power cords and plugs on your deck. Say goodbye to corrosion and power plug issues. Enjoy a clean deck without obstacles. Spend more time fishing without frustration. So this is the way that it works. On the top, you have basically a quick release plate here that you just mount your trolling motor to, right? Where does the power go? The power goes right into the bottom of the plate rather than a cord going into, a plug-in spot or a big cord running somewhere. This literally will wrap right around and go right into the base of your trolling motor. On the bottom of this, you'll see the wires come out. So you drill a hole through the deck, whatever the mounting surface is that you're mounting this on, and you just feed the wires through there. So it's basically eliminating that cord for your trolling motor from the deck. Of course, this says it's for Minn Kota Quest because that's what the whole pattern and everything's designed for. But there's no reason you wouldn't be able to do something like this for any of the other brands that are out there or models as well. So I thought this was kind of interesting and unique. So, hey, maybe we'll see more of these come into the market. Here is a bait bucket. So if you are looking for a new bait bucket, this could be an option. It's not cheap, though. It's $250. This is called the Bait Shack. It's a 22 quart, but it is pretty unique. Let me show you here. This right here, you can see I'm opening it up. It is, of course, sealed here. You've got 3 hoses going down that go to aerator stones. So it is an aerated bait cooler with a nice hard basket that comes out of it. And you've got a drain hole down there and some extra tubes down there as well. And when you go to shut it, what you're going to notice here is it can click shut. You've got 3 cup holder kind of bases there, and you have a solar panel on top. That's right. This is solar powered. It has a battery inside of it, but it can also be solar powered to recharge it as well. If you don't want to plug it into the wall to charge it, you've got battery level, power level, 3 different settings, a power button there. You've got your drain hose down there, and you've got a really nice handle that comes up on it that's pretty durable as well. Again, super nice, but it is $250. So something to think about. It is a 22 quart. That is what that looks like with the handle up on it. I thought that was a pretty interesting product. Rapala came out with one of their mats. So this is one of your fish cleaning cutting mat if you wanted to use that. And then this company called Go Water Go LLC released the Dock Water Secure Plug and Play Washdown Station. So this is a super simple washdown station that's intended to be hooked up to your dock. So if you ever buy your dock and you're like, hey, I wish I had some fresh water to hose things down with. Well, now you can. All you need to do is there's this box right here. You can mount it onto your dock somewhere. You need to have AC power, which most docks do because you charge your boat batteries with that. So like a normal power plug-in port. So you would plug this directly into that, and then you've got an intake hose here. You just drop down however deep you want down into the lake, and then it turns on, and you've got a sprayer thing here, and you've got a dock wash station. So pretty cool. $399 is the price point on it, but it's giving you 45 psi of pressure, over 3 gallons per minute. Self-priming, built-in hose reel. So there you go. If that is a problem that you have, you now have a potential solution. I thought this was pretty gimmicky, but I'll show you what it is. So it's supposed to be a line cutter that attaches to your hat. You can see here, it's this big outer, I think I have a video next so it'll show you, but it's this big outer black thing. You can see you got a screwdriver on there. You've got a few different, I think those could be used almost as like wrenches to turn things. You've got a line cutter there, a bunch of different things here. So let me show you the video so you can see how it works. So this, it pops out. It's clipped underneath the visor of a hat right now, that black piece, and then that clips into it. And you can see there, you can cut line. It's kind of an all-purpose multi-tool, if you will. I don't know. I thought it was interesting and unique, but that is what that is. If you want to check it out, there's lots of funky stuff like that. The Extractor line cutter hat, $39.99. Anglers often struggle with cutting fishing line efficiently and safely, fumbling with knives or using their teeth. Existing tools are often bulky, misplaced, or difficult to access quickly when needed. And so using sharp tools near fishing lines can lead to accidental cuts and injuries. While the Extractor line cutter offers a compact, accessible, and safe solution for cutting various fishing lines, also serving as a vital tool for safety, rescuing entangled animals, it comes with 3 mounting options, a visor clip for any hat, blah, 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 blah. So that is that if you want to check it out. We've seen things like this before, but these are from a brand called Trapski racks. They have some multi-use cutting boards. This is a bucket cutting board. So you can see on the top here, you've got kind of like a little measure here. This is in inches, it looks like over here. All the different sizes and MSRP pricing you can see right here on the top. And then you've got a little ridge here for the water to go into. You've got a spot here to put like a scissors or a bigger knife or a pliers, and then a knife over here, a handle. And you can almost put hooks here on this end. And then on the back side of it, I think you can see another one here next to it. On the back side of it, you can see there's molds for a bucket lip. So you can either use the rubber feet on a flat surface, or you can put it on a bucket. So that's that. And it is a nice, thick, durable material. It almost feels like an HDPE type of material. Then they have these ones here that have a little bit of a lip on the edge as well. And you can see in the photos here, these still also attach to buckets if you want to. You can set them actually on your dock. You can set them on flat surfaces. So they got a bunch of these. They actually were in a few different categories. Here's another one, a little bit of a square one for you. Raised fillet tables and cooler bucket boards. And then Evolution they had a few cool things here. This is for your fishing line. So you can actually have fishing line in each of these sides here, and then there's 6 spots for your line to come out. So that way you can just bring this and you got all your different, you got a 4-pound, a 6-pound, an 8-pound, a 10-pound, a 12-pound, and a 20-pound if you want of fluoro or mono or braid or whatever you use. You can put them in here and you're good to go. It says that it will fit 4 bulk spools. So those massive spools, you can fit 4 of them in there if you want to as well. It's a pretty nifty, cool little guy. It's called the Line Master Bulk Spool Bag. If you're interested, 4 bulk spools of line will fit. But you do have spot for 6 dividing discs to aid in the spooling of them out. You've got the 6 ends that can come out as well. So 6 different lines if you don't use the big bulk spools, but you use regular size spools as well. It's always nice to have some of that line on your boat or accessible. Even if you keep it in your garage, just have it all in one thing rather than individual spools all over the place. And then there was let me see if I can rotate this puppy quickly. The Beyond Bait Pump Rechargeable Aerator. So this looks to me exactly like the clam one that came out last year. that other knockoff brand one that we found on Amazon. That's basically the same thing. This looks just like it, except this has a glow-in-the-dark case on it. Everything else looks almost identical to it. So you've got battery, rechargeable with USB-C, water-resistant sealed body. We're not going to go through it because you guys know what these aerators look like, and they are. I think it was out of the box here. Yep, here it is, out of the box sideways. But you can see it looks almost exactly like the others. So you've got a power button, and then you've got a plus and minus here, and then you've got basically, do you want intermittent or constant on, is essentially what it is. It's got like a low, medium, high in terms of that. And then you've got your stone, you've got your hose, and that's what you got. But I don't think it was very expensive. I think it was like $20. $27.99. Glow-in-the-dark design, 4-speed bubble control, and that's what you got. This I thought was pretty interesting too. So this is, what about Busby? Anything new from them? Yeah, they had the stickers, remember? We got this. We got the stickers. I'm kidding. They actually have more. We're going to talk about it more here. They have their stuff spaced out between a few different categories too. It's really tomorrow when I walk around the exhibit floor that I like go to the Busby booth, and then I'll see all of the Busby stuff. And I'll probably do a Busby video again this year. I did one last year on their new stuff that they came out with. Their basic boxes were a big thing they came out with last year. Their reel covers and a few other things as well. So we'll talk about that here in a little bit. So this is called the Arc System Roof Rack Fishing Rod Carrier. So it's self-explanatory. I'm not going to explain it to you, but it's aerospace grade aluminum. You can modify it while mounted in terms of the length, depending on the rod length that you have in there. Gas struts to lift it, which I'll show you in a different photo here. And it holds 4+ fishing rods of all styles, rod reel protection, and locking security. So this is what the body of it looks like. And, oh, that had the price on it. It looks like it said $7.99, and then they made it $9.99. So, you know, prices are already going up. All right, so it opens up kind of like the big mouth on the back of it here where you slip your rods in, and then you can see it extend. It's the body of it, and then where this guy's hand is here, I've got a photo of it, but you can extend this out, and there's markings for how long of a rod you're going to be able to put in there. So this is what it looks like. You have those two basic spots where you can put them. So if you put them in rod sleeves, you can put obviously more than 2 in there. You could probably put, 2 or 3 or 4 in each of them, depending on how big your setups are. And then you can get it in there, and then this flaps down. You can see here the gas struts that are back in there. That makes it really easy to open, and then the locking mechanism that it'll latch down onto, and then you can lock it shut. And here's that extended part there where you can see, depending on how far you have it, you can see if you pull it out that far, you now have 8 feet. If you push it in a little bit, 7.5, a little bit more, 7 feet. So you can see how it can be extended. So that's what it looks like. So I thought that was pretty cool. If you're one of the people that wants to have an external rod rack, of course, that is not the cheapest option out there, but it's probably one of the most durable and better options, at least from what I've seen. And it looks like my hotel internet may be dropping in and out here. We're on StreamYard I'm using as the platform, so it shouldn't drop us. Unless I drop out for more than 10 minutes, the stream will go live and I'll pop back in. It looks like it's just jittering in and out. Let me know if you guys have any connection issues. We've got Wahoo wipes. I saw this originally and I thought, whoa, these are interesting, but these are actually really interesting. Wahoo wipes are fishing-specific wet wipes with patented odor-neutralizing technology that eliminates stubborn fish, bait, and boat smells, not just mask them. Built for life on the water, the extra-large, ultra-durable, biodegradable, and tough enough to handle slime, blood, and sunscreen gunk. No lingering stink, just clean-smelling hands, fast. Patent odor neutralizer, doesn't mask it, it neutralizes the molecular level. They're tear-resistant extra-large wipes for larger messes. This is the Lime Lagoon scent, 42 wipes. I'm going to open this tomorrow and take a sniff of it and see how they smell. But I thought that was interesting because how many times do you end up like having to grab onto that pike and you're like, ugh, gross, right? Well, these evidently can help deal with that, or you get a little blood on your hand or those worms really start smelling. your leeches got a little warm or something like that, you can get rid of some of that stank, apparently. So I thought they were interesting, and they are $10.25 is MSRP on them. This I thought was actually really cool. Like they had a lot of nets here, but this one looked really well made. It's compact, and it had like some pretty cool options on it. So this is the Bubba net. I had the close up here, $79.99, so not crazy expensive, but it is not cheap. When space is limited but performance is critical, the Bubba folding hand net delivers. It collapses to just 22 by 15.5, which I'll show you. I think I took a video of it here, and it quickly deploys with just one hand. The telescoping handle extends to 51 inches for extra reach. So here it is. This is not fully extended. It's just uncollapsed here in this photo. Then you can see the net drops down really nicely here. It's a nice net where you've got a reflector and some extra durable material up here in the front. You've got material fabric around, and then you've got your rubberized net actually down below. You can see here in this photo kind of how deep it drops and then that it is rubberized. And then when it is extended out, you can see just how long that is here when it's in its extended motion. And then there's a awkward video. Here's one. You can see to extend it, you flip this up, you pull it back, and it will come all the way back. And then you can clip it down, put it back in, close it, and then if you want to flip the handle up, you just pull down on that, and then you can flip it over, and it'll collapse down there, and then boom, you've got a fully collapsed net that you're able to stow away really, really easily, which I thought was great. So if you have one of the smaller boats, you're a kayak fisherman, pretty awesome. And then you can pull it back, snaps right in place, and now it's locked open again. Really, really nice. Busby, here's another new Busby product you were asking about. My wife would love those wipes. Yeah, I would like those wipes. And $10 for however many were in there, that looked like a pretty good deal. Might have to try them out and see if they actually work. Like we'll have to like catch some pike and test them. All right, so this is a bucket built the Busby way, rugged, waterproof, ready for anything. It's the Busby material built into a bucket. Pretty self-explanatory. It is collapsible, so you can collapse it down and stow it away. But then when you need a bucket and you're like, oh, shoot, we didn't bring a bucket. Well, now you got a bucket. Sure, it's not a hard plastic bucket, but it's durable. It can obviously stand up on its own. And as you put water in it, it'll, of course, hold a more circular shape around the diameter of it, which is pretty cool there. And then they had we're not going to get into the bags here, but they had a ton of tackle storage bags. This one's Beyond Braid is the name of it. They've got a ton of different ones here. And you can see this one. It was their biggest one at $99.99, the middle one for $79.99, and their smallest one was $59.99. This I thought was pretty cool. So those of you that use two-piece rods, this is called a Rodney. And it has two spots on the bottom here that allows you to essentially pull your rod apart, and you put both ends, the ends that connect together, into these tubes here, and then it's called a Rodney, right? So then your line can go along on the outside of it there to keep that line tangle free. So you still are able to collapse your rod down, but you're keeping it from, you know, getting tangled up and spun up and all together. So I don't use very many two-piece rods, but if you do use a two-piece fishing rod, you tell me, do you think this thing's pretty awesome? Or do you have a different way of doing this or a better solution? And look at that. You can just hang it up right on a peg hook. I thought it was pretty interesting. Pretty cool. What did it say the price was on that? MSRP of $19.99. Interesting. I thought it was pretty cool. Here's something that I actually think this is not marketed for ice fishing. This is from Cast King, but I think this is going to be killer for ice fishermen. If you are, especially if you have like a hard-sided shack or you're trying to store like ice fishing rods like in your garage or something, check this out. So this is it's a rod rack, the V10 pivot grip rod rack. And so you see 10 hooks here, so 5 here, 5 here. So you have a total of 10 of those. You put your rod in there and it frictions down. I don't remember, did I get a video of it doing it? here we go. So you lift it up, you put your rod in there, because the idea is, right, this is mounted to, it's mounted to your wall in your house or wherever, because the biggest problem that I have is, like, if you get a rod holder like the Clam, they've got a 5 rod holder that takes up like almost 2 feet of space, and you get 5 rods in there. Well, this thing I think is like 12 to 16 inches, and you can get 10 rods in there, because you're not putting the butt of the rod in there, you're putting the blank of the rod in there, and it's holding it, and you just alternate where the reels are, so you can hang them a lot closer together, hang more rods in a smaller space. So what you do is you would open it up, lift it up like that, you'd stick your rod underneath it, and then it's gonna close down with a little bit of friction against it and hold it in place, because now the rubber from the back piece and the rubber from the front piece here are holding that rod so it can't go side to side or up and down, and it's not going to slip out on you. And they do slide back and forth in there pretty easily, which I think I show. Yep. So you can space them out kind of however you want. So in that small space, you can fit a total of 10 rods. This is intended for open water rods, but you can definitely put shorter, smaller rods in here if you want. Next to that, you've seen these before. I have a different version of these that's been out for quite a while in my garage that I use. They're kind of the toggle style, similar concept. But what I wanted to show you here is this one fits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, check this out. It's longer than this one. In this one above it can fit 10. So how cool is that? So anyways, if you're interested, this is from Cast King. It's $29.99 for this orange one. I know I'm going to pick up at least one, maybe more, depending on where I can think of mounting rods to it. But I think it's pretty cool. Granted, you're going to be supporting the rod and the reel combo that you have by the rod and not the heavy part, which is usually the handle where the reel is. So if you're doing a lot of banging around, make sure you get it closer to the reel part. Otherwise, yeah, it's great for static storage if you're just trying to mount them and get them all up out of the way, maybe for like summer storage or something like that. All right, here is a couple of evolution crates, tackle management things here. So you've got some long ones where you can put some baits in there. I thought that was pretty interesting. This is the blade runner. So you can actually put like your blade type baits in here that you would typically troll with or something like that, or the ones that come with like the line on it and whatever. You can put them in these little Ziplocs and you can kind of flip through it like a book, which I thought was pretty cool. Yak Attack has the HD bait binder that they are announcing. This is the MSRP of $55. It's 12 by 14, black carbon. I'll flip through it here. So it looks really nice on the outside. You flip it open. You've got 4 individual pockets here to put whatever you want into. And then you've got 2 zippered pockets on each of these. These are actually like pages in a binder that can open up, but they're a fabric. So you can put whatever you want in those as well. And then half of them are that way. The other half of them are one big pocket that has a clear face on it. So that way you can look inside of it. And so there's a couple of those. And then all the way in the back, you have the same thing that you have in the front. So the 4 kind of stitched over clear pockets as well. And again, that was, I think it was $55 if you were interested in that. So yes. Rapala Rapid Pack. So Rapala has these. These are for like your soft plastics, right? So you can stack them all up. I like these. I have some different brands that I use. But you can put them in here and you've got a bunch of different soft plastics that can go in there, and then you can zip it shut if you want to. Buzzbee, this is another new product from Buzzbee that they have in their lineup this year. Not all of the things included here are new this year. This over here is new. This is like one of those things where you can put reels of line in here. You can kind of put whatever you want in it, but that's what that is. We'll show a picture of that later on. This is a small little case, if you will, that you can put things in. And then this is a scissor holder or a knife holder or a pliers holder or something like that. And it all comes in this bag. And then you get 2 different sizes of these closed kind of rectangular bags, if you will. They're just one full open compartment in them, but they're waterproof and airtight. They're pretty cool. You've got a basic box here. I think you have a deep and a shallow normal Busby boxes as well. And then I think you have labels in the back there. And you have the 3 different colored poles as well. So like if you have one for glide baits, one for rip and wraps, and one for jig heads, you'd be able to say, I need the blue one because the jig heads, you don't need to look at a label or anything. You can just pull up by those. So pretty cool. This is basically a kit is what this one is. It's the Busby Swarm plus Hex Slide tackle management kit for $400. So not cheap. They're very proud of their products. They're great products. I have a lot of their products, but if you're looking to get into the system, this could be great for like a kayak fisherman, a boat fisherman, or somebody that wants to try a lot of their different products. You could do that here, but they are not cheap. New from Yak Attack. So yeah, quite a few things from Yak Attack. I'll swing by Yak Attack. Okay, so I'm going to write down Yak Attack and Busby. I'll make sure that I swing by their booths either tomorrow or the next day and I'll get a video out for you guys on that. I need that Rodney hate tangles that happen when I take my 2-piece rods apart. Yeah. That's what I would think. I think I have like 3 2-piece rods. Like out of all the rods that I have, I think only 3 of them are 2-piece. Everything else, I really like the 1-piece, except for like on this trip, I'm like, I could have brought a rod with if I had a 2-piece. That'd be kind of cool. I hope some of this stuff is available in Canada. At some point it will be. So this show, ICAST, is actually intended for, like, I can't buy any of this stuff here. This is actually intended for these brands to get in front of. I'm here because of the media aspect of it, spreading the word, and all the brands love that. But really the real purpose of why these brands are here is because there's a lot of buyers, retailers, and distributors here. So they're trying to showcase their product. And then like Shields is here, Cabela's is here, Fish USA is here, Tackle Warehouse is here, Bass Pro Shops is here, right? And they're looking for, ooh, this looks like it's going to be a hot product. We're going to assort that. And so that's coming out of the show. They then get placement and then you can buy it. So as long as one of the retailers in Canada or somebody that sells to Canada picks up some of these products, they will be available for you. Those are new pull tabs. I don't know if they are new ones. I feel like they had some before, and I think they have like 2 or 3 different types. Where they connect to the box looks like they're rubber. This is hard plastic right here. It's molded in. That hard plastic tab is there. The pole itself is just like your normal like rope, like a normal pull string, pull rope. And then this is rubber, like a harder rubber here. I'm not sure. Maybe they are new. I'm not sure. Zoom in on the pull tab, please. Yeah. These are hard plastic. You can see molded in there. They are not a rubber. I would think they would rip out more if they were a rubber. But let me know. Maybe you're seeing something different than I am. And I can go check them out. And I'll put my fingers on them and make sure that they're plastic. So I can answer your question if you ask it again after today. Jet Kayak for the win. Oh, yeah, baby. I'm excited about it. Yeah. Hopefully. I missed the on the water day. My flight got in too late today. Otherwise, I was going to try to get out on it today. But maybe it just means I need to get one. Who knows? Maybe next year. Not this year for sure. Soft plastic case. Evolution fishing. So this is one. I don't know if I took a picture of it open. I did. Just 3 compartments. You've got these dividers in here that are Velcro on the different sides here. So you can kind of move it around, put whatever you want in there. Pretty self-explanatory, nothing exciting. And there's some feet. Yeah, these are my feet over here, and these are somebody else's feet over here. Interesting, huh? You can tell I didn't go through all of these yet. So you've seen the raw stuff, but let me know what you want me to see. So far, I'm going to go get more information on the Jet Kayak. I'm going to go check out the Yak Attack booth, and I'm going to go check out Busby. Those are the requests that have been so far. Not the tab, but where it wraps around the hard plastic. Not the tab, but where it wraps around the hard plastic. You're talking about this? This is a string, like a rope string. It's not rubber, if that's what you're talking about. But I do think they have rubber ones, now that you're saying it. I'll check. I'll do a whole video on Buzzbee. That'll be one thing for sure that I'll make sure that I ask about. Okay, Josh? I'll get it cleared up for you, man. We'll get it taken care of. All right. I thought this was interesting, and then the more I thought about it, I thought it wasn't that interesting, but I did take a picture of it anyways. This is intended for like flies. A lot of what we buy for, like if you're an ice fisherman, a lot of what we get are actually fly type boxes because they're smaller jigs, right? So this is actually intended for flies. You can, of course, use different things in it as well, but I figured it would work good for ice fishing. But here's what I didn't like about it. What I liked about it and why I took pictures of it is it's got foam with slits in it on the bottom and on the top. How many of these do we get a tackle case that's like this and it just has spots for lures on the bottom? We're missing 50% of space to be able to put them in the lid too. Pretty cool, right? Except for this. When you're ice fishing, it's completely different than being on a boat, on a kayak, or fly fishing. Those puppies are going to fall out. Like they're not going to stay up there hanging upside down, banging around. So the more I thought about it, I was like, yeah, probably not going to work. But I thought it was interesting. If you're a fly fisherman or you're really gentle with your boxes, this could be interesting. Let me know what you think. Not the string. Bro, I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding. I do not know. But where it wraps around the hard plastic. Yeah, we'll have to see. Shoot me a message or something, maybe with a picture or with an arrow pointing to it or something. What's up, Russ? Ready for some ice fishing? Dude, I am ready for ice season. I feel bad saying it, but I am. All right, cutlery, hand pliers, and tools. This was the most impressive knife that I saw here. There was probably 30 knives here. This is from Relentless Knives. It's $150, so it is not cheap. But this thing in the hand, this is like that. I think is it called EVA? It's like it's like it feels hard, like harsh on your hand. Some like rod handles for like ice fishing are made out of this because it's super lightweight. I'm forgetting what the name of it is, but that's what this black is. And then this is like a smoother green color here. But this thing is so light and it's super flexible. This was like a dream. 6-inch straight titanium fillet knife. Built for professionals who demand performance, Relentless 6-inch straight fillet knife offers surgical control in a field-ready form. 100% aerospace-grade titanium blade will not rust and features a patented perpetual edge technology for lasting sharpness. A straight edge profile and tuned flex deliver clean cuts, even on delicate species. True grit textured handle ensures grip in wet and in gloved conditions. Best knife that I put my hands on tonight, for sure. Pretty awesome. And it comes with a sheath, of course, because it's super, super sharp. One thing that I think is interesting is they like have all these knives just kind of chilling. Like it's a good thing there's no, I'm not even gonna go down that path, but Bubba has their smart fish scale here. And I know these pictures are upside down, but this is the light version. So it does a lot of the same things that the Pro version that I really like, that's my favorite one, does. But you have to have an app with a subscription to unlock some of the other smart features. It's not all built into the unit itself. You can weigh your fish really easily here and do some basic culling, which is great. But you'll see if the Pro is unlocked there, which it shows on the screen right here, that means you have the subscription. But they did have it here because it did release. It's this guy right here, really small head on it there. Really nice and portable. If you're just looking for a super accurate scale that you can just weigh a fish, this is definitely one of the options and way to go for you. 60-pound weight limit with best-in-class accuracy, plus or minus 0.3%. It is literally the most accurate brand of scale, this series from them, out of any other one that I've ever seen on the market, which is why a lot of the tournaments only use these scales to weigh fish, which is pretty cool. And that is $69.99. If you want to pick it up, take a drink here, and then we're going to talk about a few more knives. All right. These ones seem pretty dangerous. So you can see they open up like this, really long, skinniest knives that I saw. Thought they were interesting, but they're also super expensive. I'm sorry, I don't have a better story for you. All right. I actually saw a video on this. It's from Angler Co. It's the Classic D Hooker. Saw a video on this earlier this week, and it was from the company. So, of course, they're talking it up. But these are all 100% stainless steel, from my understanding, grade 304 stainless steel, non-slip grip handle that you can see just the way, I forget the wording for it, but basically that grip texture that's on it. And it's made for freshwater and saltwater use because of that 304 stainless steel. If you've ever used these D hookers, you know D hookers are great, right? Like if you get something down in there in a pike's mouth or something like that and you want to get it out, these are great, and they have different lengths here. But this is the, like, you know how like you put a tool in your hand when it's metal and you're like, oh yeah, like this thing, this is the weight to it. Like you just can feel it's just built right. That is exactly how this thing is. And the nice thing about it is it doesn't break the bank. I take a picture of, you can see, you can just, it glides in and out, all stainless steel. It's awesome. Really great. So prices start, it looks like, at $59.99. So available in two sizes, 13.5 inches for deep reach and 8.5 for compact control. I don't use these a whole ton because I don't target those fish. I typically target, like, the biggest fish that I typically target is like walleye. I'm not usually going after pike. I'm not going after lake trout. I'm not going after muskie or anything like that. So I don't really use these a ton, but if I did or ever kind of went down the path of using a D hooker more often, I would definitely look into getting one of these. I thought they were pretty great. Cold weather technical apparel for men. So again, this is where you typically start seeing some of the ice fishing stuff. Gill fishing was here, so they had a few different things. Some of the stuff that's been out and announced for a little while. Gill is not cheap stuff. Like these tops and bottoms are like $350 to $450 each. So this is like a $700 to a $900 set between these. You've got Columbia has a set here, and then you've got whatever this brand is. I think I got a close-up picture of it. So yeah, $450 Aspect 2.0 suit. Oh, that might be the whole suit. Oh yeah, it's the whole suit for that price. So the bib and the jacket are $500. Not that it makes it cheap. Like, that's not cheap at all. But I'll tell you, the one thing that I thought was interesting is none of these actually seemed all that impressive for the price point. Like, I feel like the prices on some of these products are going up, but like we're not seeing a lot of improvement in the value, which I think is interesting. And what they're calling cold weather, rain gear is falling into these categories because these aren't actually, two of these had no insulation. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And then Hook was the other one. Hook was the other one. We've got Pelagic here with some cold weather stuff, the Torrent bib. If I find out more information about them, I will get more information out there. But we do have from Striker brands here, the Shield Float Vest, which we know was out last year. I own one of these. I own the khaki colored one, but they didn't have a black one, at least last year when I was getting them. So I don't know if the black one is new or if it's now just back in stock. It was released after ICAST last year, so it could be entered into the new product showcase this year. This is a float vest from them. So it is warm because it has insulation material in it, but that insulation material is also float material. And so it actually acts as a float. It has as much float in it as their jackets do. They're floating jackets. So pretty cool. And they don't break the bank either. I think it was 139.99 this year. I think last year they were 129.99. So they, or 119.99. So I think they went up a little bit. Also, Striker Brands had, which I thought were pretty cool, not super cheap, but they've got these rain pants and then the rain jackets, but they're packable. So they're like super lightweight, but they looked actually really well made, fully seam sealed for maximum waterproofing, $79.99. And you can see this is the bag that they can actually get put into, super lightweight. So if you're just looking to have like an extra set or two of rain gear, it's probably a little expensive for that. But if you got the money and you want to toss it around, this would definitely be a pretty cool option here. And you can see they can just fit in these bags here. So you can get the pants, and you can get the jackets, and they got different colors here. So this is the rain jacket as well. Whitewater Fishing has the cold weather apparel Riparian rain suit. So again, this is one that is windproof and waterproof for $539.99. This is what it looks like here on the right. It is black. It looks nice for sure. I've never tried it on, but the one that doesn't look all that great is this Daiwa one. It is made out of Gore-Tex, so I'm sure it works fine, but like this Daiwa one is $949.98 for the jacket and the bibs. Like at this point, like we're just paying for a, like, was this a $200 set and we're paying $700 for the brand name? Like, it's crazy. I know it's probably late and I'm drinking too much caffeine, but like, tell me I'm insane here. $1,000? Like, oof. Oof. Well, I got to stop by Striker Brands too. Of course, I'll stop by all the ice fishing brands that are here, but I'll do that at the show too. Knurling, yes, that is what it's called. Thank you. When you go to Busby, ask them when they are going to revamp the standard colony boxes and make the bins thin, like the deep and thin model bins. You want the bins to be thin, like the deep and thin model bins. The actual bins themselves. Okay, I will ask them. Anything big so far that I've missed? A jet kayak, and just a bunch of other random gear. Yeah, so far. Too many fishing companies are pricing their stuff like Gucci and Louis Vuitton. They are quickly pricing the hobby out of the average angler's budget range. Well, so here's the thing, is like, who's going to buy it? Like, I don't understand who's going to buy that Daiwa suit. Diehard Daiwa people, their pro staff that gets it for half off. Like, people that work for the company, I don't know. Maybe I'm oblivious and there is a market out there of people that would buy that. But like coastal fishermen that spend that much on a suit aren't buying a freaking mid-grade Daiwa suit. Like, they're not. I'm sorry. They'd rather go spend on a mid-grade Mustang survival suit, which, anyways, yeah, dude, I don't get it. No, Eskimo wasn't here. Clam wasn't here. Eskimo doesn't come. Clam was the only like one of the big brands in terms of like Clam, Otter, Eskimo. I mean, you could name all the other brands, but those are the big three in terms of like the ice fishing industry. Clam was the only one that came, and I think they've only been here 2 or 3 years. In this year, they decided not to come. There are electronics. I'm going to get to it. I'm sorry. I'm taking a lot of time here, but I will get to it. 1,000. What the fish? If I pay $900 for a rain suit, it better cast my rod and reel it in for me too, right? Yeah. Jet kayak. Yeah, dude. The jet kayak. All right. we're going to fly past this stuff. Here we go. FXR. This actually looked pretty sweet. We've got Mustang Survival has one. This is just the Striker climate suit. It's the 2.0. It's the one that came out last year, so it's not new, but it did come out after ICAST, so that's entered in as well. I saw somebody vote for that today, which I thought was interesting. So here's another cold weather technical apparel. The men's I don't know how to say that, Teku waterproof jacket from them, $475. But Mustang Survival does have good quality products, and they also have a demographic of people that buy their stuff that aren't freshwater people, or they are Great Lakes freshwater people that like work on boats and sail in like coastal fish that wear their stuff that would pay for this no problem, right? So I don't see Daiwa that way, but yeah, there's the climate stuff, the FXR. I'm going to zoom out of this because there wasn't really a whole lot of exciting stuff there. They've got warm weather technical apparel for men, and of course, Gill is here. You've got a few more rain things, Mustang Survival, and a bunch of like shirts and shorts and stuff like that. Striker's got some of their stuff in here, hoodies, some shorts from Striker. I'll do a whole thing just on Striker. And then this was the women's section, a lot smaller than last year. There was a lot of women's stuff here last year. This year, this is it. This is the entire lifestyle apparel for women's and cold weather technical apparel for women. This is it for the whole show that for apparel in terms of for women. Of course, there's a lot of things that are unisex or whatever. Striker is represented here with their hoodie. Yeah, there's a few of the brands here. So. Oh, I'm wrong. They did have a warm weather section. So they had tops and stuff, but like who's coming to ICAST to buy a shirt, right? A tank top. Maybe some people. This was the feature brand. So Strike Footwear, brand new product launch or brand that launched their business essentially at ICAST at the show here today. They sponsored the new product showcase, so they got to go on the stage and talk about it at the beginning, that 5 to 10 minutes I told you about it at the beginning. They talked about their footwear and things like that. They're eco-friendly, lots of great things. Go check them out if you want to. They're called Strike Footwear. I thought this was interesting. It's kind of like a clog / croc. It was probably the most interesting thing that they had there. They don't have any retailers or distributors yet because they literally just launched. So they're here because they're trying to get distributors and retailers. So it'll be interesting to see where these hit and how much they are. I think it had an MSRP of $80. Maybe a little expensive for me, but if they come down or go on sale, I definitely try them out. They looked super comfortable. And then I just took a picture of some of these things. I walked past the big tackle area, like hundreds and hundreds of pieces of tackle that are here. But I love these things with the tentacles. I've still never fished with any. I haven't bought any, but I need to pick some up. This is the Yamamoto Uni. So it's the ball with the little tentacles on it. There were a few other things here. They've got the Fuzzy Nut, which is this guy right here. They've got the little like dice bead type things here, which were pretty cool from one of the brands. Some freshwater lures. Look at these, seem like they're coming back. The little freshwater rats, if you will. So I guess like instead of using frogs, you're using rats nowadays. It looks like these are actually ones that are intended for retrieving. Classic gurgling, bubbling top water sound on a steady retrieve. Heavy knocking sound on a walk the dog twitch retrieve. It'd be fun to catch a fish on those. All right. The rods. These were the new rods that were here at the show. Trico was there. Daiwa, Okuma, you name it. They had some rods here. Nothing too crazy. Trica had their all of their series there. What I find interesting about Trica, and I'm going to stop by Trica at the show here, is Trica's business model is that they can give you a rod better than anybody else at a cheaper price. And the reason is because there's no middleman. They only sell direct to consumer. They don't have distributors. They don't have retailers. They don't have, middlemen taking a cut. So they can essentially sell at the same price that others do without having to add on a bunch of other people's profit onto it. So it's cheaper for you to get a higher quality rod than you would if you paid that same price for somebody through somebody else's rod. You'd get a lower quality rod for the same price. But this show is all about getting distributors and retailers. So I wonder if Trika's model is changing, or if they're here just for the media aspect of it and see if they can win some prizes. Some Denali rods, Shimano's got a casting rod here. The 10X series rod from Trika. Hey, look, my shoe again. Here we go, baby. Ice fishing. So this is the kickoff of the ice fishing table. It's 2 tables connected together. I'm super excited about this. So there were a few things. There were a few things on the table. The first thing that you probably saw in the thumbnail is a brand new auger from StrikeMaster. That's right. StrikeMaster has announced a brand new ice auger for the 2025 ice season. It is called the Maven, lithium 40 volt Maven. And I'll pull up that sheet here in just a second. But what we can see here is it's got some nice gripped handles here. You've got the plastic composite type frame here. You've got a 5 amp hour 40 volt battery. You've got a composite bit here. This looks like an 8-inch bit. You've got your nice bottom here, a really nice blade guard here that's magnetic. It clips on and it actually can stand up, which is pretty great. I moved it to another table just to be able to take a better photo so I could cut it out if I wanted to. But this is what it's looking like here. Maven, it's of course upside down. I'll take a better picture of it. But this is the Maven. This is the head of the unit. Battery goes into it. Big Maven logo right here, MA in the nice V, the E in the N. You've got your power switch here. You've got a forward and reverse. And then that's right. This is a level bubble on it. So I've not seen any other augers have this. So when you're going down, you can keep that little bubble in the center to make sure that you're going straight down your hole if you want to. Or if you're trying to go at an angle, you can see this inner circle represents, if your bubble's there, a 2-degree angle. The outer one is a 6-degree angle. And I have no clue what the outside one is. Maybe that's 10, 12, 15 degrees. I'm not sure. But that is what the head of the unit looks like. Another angle of it here facing the correct way with the Maven logo upright. But now the battery logo is upside down. But this is the way that you would hold it. So your power button and your reverse and your forward will be in your right hand. This is the new auger, and it did have the battery, and it did work, and it did have battery power to it as well. This is what it looks like from the other side here. As you can see, your normal flighting, and then you can see how this cover clips on right on each side, right in line with where the blades are. That's what that looks like. Another angle here of the power button, which is pretty great. And you can see this is freestanding. I am not holding this up. You can see it's got the wings that are far enough out on the sides. And what's great about that is you can put your feet on those and you can pull it out. So you can pull it straight out of there and take that cover on and off really, really easily with this unit. And it is freestanding. I would say it freestands on a level surface with no wind. If you got some wind gustling, I wouldn't trust it to necessarily stand by itself. It's not, I don't think, intended to stand up by itself like this for long periods of time, but it can, so that way you can put your foot on that flap and kind of take that off, which is great. Another close-up of what that looks like down on the bottom here, and they got that StrikeMaster logo. We'll get to the specs here in just a second, I think. And you can see, holding it up, the bubble closer to the center, what that bubble level looks like. Here's the battery, lithium 40 volt, 5 amp hour lithium ion battery. The top of it does not have a USB charger in it, and it looks like it's similar to some of the other batteries that are out there for sure. I swear they've had those covers for a season or two. I think these ones are similar. I feel like they're a little bit different, but I'll have to look. Yeah, I think they had them as black, if I'm right, Charles? They had the black ones similar to it. Then they've got the 4 light indicators here, your button to push. There's nothing new here. This is all standard battery stuff. Here is our sheet. So this is what it's saying. The new lithium 40-volt Maven powerhead motor. So that's this powerhead motor up here. It's electric DC brushless motor. So it's a brushless motor, which is great. It's got the planetary gear system, 27.3 to 1 gear ratio, variable speed. I'm going to write this down, Strike Master. We're going to do a video just on this guy. I'll do a dedicated video and go into the details on it. I'll have somebody from their crew kind of walk through it. We'll ask all the questions. So if you have questions about this auger, drop it down below, and I'll get us answers to them here at the show while we're out here. And I'll get this video up within the next couple of weeks. Dedicated video, just getting into the nuts and bolts of it. Forward and reverse. Oh, I'm sorry. I flipped over here. Variable speed. So as you're pulling the trigger, it goes slow. It's kind of like a power drill, how like depending on how hard you press the trigger, it'll go faster or slower. You've got a power button with a dead man safety switch. The dead man safety switch is the power switch. So if you let go of it, it's going to turn off. You've got forward and reverse, which we already talked about with the toggle right on the top there. You've got a built-in LED light, which I think I've got a photo coming up here, and it is super bright. It is probably the brightest built-in LED light that I've seen on any of the augers out there, and it's actually pretty decent in size. Like, we were inside with the lights on, and this thing was lighting it up. It's got the built-in bubble level. Again, another unique thing that I haven't seen in others. Ergonomic soft touch grips. That's right, the handles that you had seen, they have a rubber kind of coating on them, which is great. Impact resistant long filament handles, which is great. The drill unit blades, lightweight aluminum hexagonal shaft, proprietary synthetic resin molded flighting, twin serrated stainless steel Maven blades. Now, the one that I saw, and it must be a picture coming up here, is they had was it Mora Ice blades on it. So I don't know if they were the right blades or not. So I'll have to ask about that. And one of the questions I'm going to ask, because it's not incredibly clear to me here, but like, how do they see this competing versus the competition, right? Because I think that's one of the things that whenever you launch a new product, you say, here's why our product is better than the competition, the latest and greatest, maybe not in every category, but in some categories. And I can't quite put my finger on what this does better than the others yet. So we'll have to see here. So full length segmented flighting, carriage formed from exclusive engineered compounds. PowerPoint keeps the drill unit in place while drilling. It just means it's got that center bit down here on the blades. The Maven magnetic snap cover blade guard. So notice how they call it the Maven magnetic snap cover blade guard, Charles. I'm wondering if there is something unique about it. I'll ask when I'm there with them. And it's got a 3-year manufacturer's warranty on the motor, the drill unit, the battery, and the charger. Peak performance on a single charge based on repeated tests of 16 inches of ice. So you got evidently an 8 and a 10 of this coming out. The 8-inch, 3.6 inches per second. The 10 inches, 2.5 inches per second. 125 holes, 2,000 inches. I don't remember the specs of like the Ion Alpha, the E40. Like, I don't remember the specs of those, so I can't tell you what these are. I will 100%, of course, do that digging. And then when I put the video out, I will have all of that in there, and I will give a synopsis of what I think this does better than the others and when you might choose this over the others. So that information is coming. I'm just getting you the raw data here. Again, I just found this out a few hours ago, all this level of detail. I knew they were coming out with this auger, but I didn't know all of the detail on it. The LVF, so these are the different models, the 8-inch, the 10-inch. The weight, 14.5 pounds for the 8-inch, 15.5 pounds for the 10-inch. Total weight is measured with the power head, the battery, and the spiral. So there you go. So Maven blades are twin serrated stainless steel designed for speed and precision. The Maven blade carriage is an innovative design. It allows for fast and smooth cut. That's the carriage, the black carriage there. The Maven magnetic snap cover is created for a hands-free approach to keeping your blade safe. You've got, and you can see it's got the magnets in there as well. The lithium 40-volt battery, it's a 40-volt 5-amp-hour lithium-ion battery. Internal BMS ensures battery longevity. 4 LED battery status indicator. And the charging base here, it's a 2-amp rapid charger, so you can charge that battery to full from dead in 2.5 hours. Built-in cell optimization, smart charging, and it is wall mountable. So that's the one-pager sheet that they got on it. Here is the charger. It looks just like their other chargers. I still have a 40-volt, believe it or not. That'd be an interesting test, wouldn't it? Like if I were to pick one of these up and test this 40-volt versus the SM 40-volt, the StrikeMaster 40-volt versus the Maven 40-volt, be interesting to test. Like what's the big difference between them, right? That'd be interesting. A high-performance drilling unit meticulously crafted for hardwater anglers seeking enhanced speed, so it's faster than the old 40-volt, evidently, and ease of drilling through the ice, not to mention the weight loss from the original 40-volt. So it's lighter as well, coming in at 14.5 pounds, which I think is competitive. Let's see. How much does the Ion Alpha 8-inch composite weigh? We're going to look it up right now. 15.9 pounds for the... Here, hold on. We're going to pull it up. This is the 8-inch Ion augers. Here, I'll share this tab. We're going to take a peek here. We're going to compare it right now weight-wise to the 8-inch Ion Alpha Plus. Weight. This is a 4-amp-hour. Okay, all right, okay. 4-amp-hour. Under 16 pounds. 2,000 inches per charge. So now if we flip back and we go back to, oh boy, we'll find it real quick here. Here we go. And if we go back to this guy, what did it say? How many? Oh boy. How many inches? 2,000 inches. So it's the same amount of inches that it can cut, but it does look like it is lighter. 14.5 pounds versus under 16 pounds, which means it's probably close to 16, right? Like 15.5 or something like that would be my guess. Now let's look up the Eskimo E40 composite. Here we go. This one I think is, yeah, it's under 14 pounds. 13.5 pounds. So this 8-inch, oh, sorry, you can't see. So the 8-inch E40 in comparison is 13.5 pounds, 40 volt, but it can only cut 1,300 inches because it's not as efficient of a cutting system. So it's kind of in the middle there. It's lighter than the Ion Alpha Plus, but it's not as efficient because it has to have a 5-amp-hour battery to do what a 4-amp-hour battery on the Alpha Plus can do. So kind of interesting how there's those trade-offs there, right? All right, let's keep going. So here's a video of it going on. You can see, obviously, I would probably not use my hand and I would use my foot to do this, but I was doing it here just to show you how it pops on and off, and the blade goes inside of that case there. And look at this. These say Mora Ice. The blades look angled appropriately to what they had described, but they don't say that they're like specific Maven blades. So I'll ask about that. It could just be that this is a prototype. It's not ready to go yet. I find that hard to believe, but because they already have to have these ready to go if they're going to hit this ice season, like I would think, right? So kind of interesting. And then there's your centering bit here, and there's your composite outer carriage to hold the bits, the blades, I'm sorry. All right, moving past the auger, we've got the new Beaver Dam Bush Light tip up. So remember, every year, Acme Tackle does a tip up, a Beaver Dam tip up design contest where they send out a template for one, and then everybody enters their stuff in, and you win some stuff if your design gets chosen. And this year it is the bush light, it looks like. So that's what the design of the tip up looks like. It's no different than a normal beaver dam. It's just a different design. This is this year's design, and it says bush. Pretty interesting. Moonshine, double-sided lure that they got here. Cast Masters got some stuff. Akuma has a ice fishing spinning reel. This is the Avenger 500B ice reel. It has the smooth flight drive system, oversized HDG2 gearing, 4 ball bearings plus 1 roller bearing, quick set anti-reverse, and a Japanese oiled felt drag for consistent pressure, which is interesting because typically I think you want like a carbon drag. The other thing that I don't like about this one is the handle doesn't collapse down. That's one of the reasons why I really like the Daiwa. The QZ750 is my go-to ice fishing reel, unless you really need to have like a bait feeder, which this one doesn't either. But this is only $54.99, which is pretty good. It's about, I'd say, $20 to $30 less than the Daiwa. But that is from Akuma. And then Mad Scientist Tackle has their Apex Vision lures. So these are just different paint jobs on these tungstens that are actually made from some of the coatings from Relevant, if I recall. Yeah, Relevant Eyewear is one of the companies that helps make these because of the coatings that they have to really grab the fish's attention as they're looking at it. We've got a new automatic fish hooking device that you can see here. It's basically like a jaw jacker, automatic hook setting. Pretty self-explanatory here. This next picture will show it. Sitting on the table, you've got 4 different kind of wires that will go out to hold it there. It is called the Happy Hooker Ice Fishing, Thresher Innovations, Happy Hooker Ice Fishing Technology. It's an auto hook setter for ice fishing. $59.99, so not super expensive. You put your ice fishing rod there in the back. And that is what it looks like. And then this is the mud hole rod building and tackle crafting. We talked about the open water version. It was a spinning reel. This is the ice fishing version of that. Cool. Cool. All right. And I think I said it was $150, right? $199. It's actually the same price as the full open water rod. Oh, because you can build 3 ice fishing rods. I guess that makes sense. Oh, they got an email here. Oh, it's their media contact. FOGUSA.com. Oh, FOG, Foundation Outdoor Group. That's kind of cool. Fog. That's cool. And then this is what this is a rod from Acme. From Elliott Rods. Riponize XL ice rod. This is a walleye rod. It felt pretty good in the hand. It didn't feel like anything special, but it felt like a good quality rod. $135. It should feel like a good quality rod. There it is. So that's the ice fishing category. Now motorized boating accessories. They've got more of these fillet tables we're going to fly past. They have the E-Propulsion. So this is an electric propulsion motor for either small boats, kayaks, or something like that. And I think they had it in a couple of different lengths. So this is a E-Propulsion E-Lite 500-watt electric outboard with transoms. Let's see. The E-Lite long shaft is perfect for drift boats and inflatable fishing boats with transoms over 15 inches, designed to be the most compact and lightweight electric outboard in its class. $12.49 if you're interested in those guys. Let me know when I can get videos and more content on this stuff. The Minn Kota Kayak Tarova. So this is a kayak trolling motor from Minn Kota that we can see here. So they've got one of these puppies that they launched and released. This I think we've known about for a little while here. I don't think it's anything net new, but that is what they've got. And of course, we already know about the Garmin one, which I think I got a photo later on in here, the Force Current that came out. And I'll be going by, of course, the Garmin booth to be checking out all of their stuff. And we'll do a video just on the Garmin stuff. Yak Attack. Somebody asked about Yak Attack. Yak Attack has the Flux drive with NavSync GPS trolling motor. So this guy right here, $1,500. The Flux drive from Yak Attack is a new evolution of electric kayak propulsion 34-pound thrust, electric motor, runs on 12-volt battery, so definitely intended for a kayak. Probably not going to go super fast with this thing. Overall, the motor is a total of 19 pounds, which isn't bad. So that's that guy. Power Pole came out with a prop, a stainless steel prop for their trolling motor. Here it is, $550 prop. It's the Power Pole Move stainless steel Tech Flow propeller. Upgrade your Power Pole Move trolling motor with the stainless steel Tech Flow propeller designed for unmatched durability and relentless performance. The prop resists nicks, minimizes wear from impact, even in reverse, and keeps weeds off your line. Built to handle whatever you throw at it and look good doing it. The Move stainless steel Tech Flow propeller delivers consistent thrust, less maintenance, and more fishing where it counts. So that's what we're looking at. If you're looking for a $550 prop for your trolling motor, the Move ZR has one. The Move trolling motor has one. It'd be interesting to see if other brands now start coming out with them. Be interesting. Mustang Survival has a new foam line of PFDs. It is called the Excel Foam PFD, built for high-speed bass fishing. It's essentially built for people that know they're going to be getting sprayed with water and they don't want triggering of the inflatables. This thing looks comfortable, but it also looks warm. So I would not be wearing this in the dead heat of summer unless I needed to. And if you're going to be getting wet a whole lot, you're probably not too worried about it. But if you're not getting wet, like for fall fishing or really early spring fishing, this could be nice. It's got like a polar fleece lined collar on it. So it's intended to be really comfortable, but I think it's going to be really warm too. Of course, like if you're getting splashed all day, you're probably not going to be super warm. But it looks really well made. They did a nice job with this. I know some people just prefer the foam ones rather than inflatables, but that is what that is. Do they have a price on that? Let's see. $129.99. So it is a high-end one for sure. All right. Beatdown Outdoors. They have the Beatdown 0 degree LiveScope 34 mount. What I thought about this was pretty cool. So, of course, you've got your place here where you can mount your transducer. But check this out. And, of course, you can attach it to your pole that you can see here it grips to. And then you've got a dial here that you can choose the degree angle you want. You want it at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 35 degrees. Otherwise, back down to 0 is what you can do. I believe that is what that's saying. No, that doesn't make any sense. These are 10-degree increments. Because if you do a full circle, that's 360 degrees. It's not 35 degrees, it's 350 degrees. So each little dash here is 5 degrees. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You can kind of see where I'm going. 340, 345, 350, 355, 360, which is the same as 0. So that makes a heck of a lot more sense. It's good that I know how to do math here at night. But you can dial it in whatever angle is going to be right for you. And you, of course, attach your transducer right there. It's just kind of cool. Not cheap, though. What was that, like 150 bucks? I think. But it's all metal, like all aluminum, 250 bucks. Yeah. Crazy, yeah. So there you go. Soft and hard coolers. They had a bunch of things in that category. I didn't take a picture, evidently, of any of them. Guardian Angel for their kayak fishing and small boat, tiny boat nation type stuff here. You've got a lot of different lights. They do really good. At this point, I had already been there for like 2.5 hours, and I was tired. So if you want to know more about any of these categories, let me know, and I can pop them up. We still got electronics to get through here. This I thought was pretty cool. So like if you're a kayak fisherman, this is from RAILBLAZA. This is the tactical tracks. So it has a mounting point on either side, ideally on the sides of your kayak. And then you've got a 3-track system, a measuring board here right in front of you. So you could do a dual graph setup in front of you, which is pretty cool. And then they have a Rev foam vest. This is in the kids category from Mustang Survival. If you wanted to pick this up, it looks fun for your little ones. Might pick one up for my kid. What is that? $65. It looks like the prices on these puppies. Yep, $65. Comfortable for all day wear, and it's got the loop that goes underneath so they can't slip up over their arms and over their head. They've got random things in here like Turtle Box Ranger, non-motorized boating accessory. So this is a Bluetooth radio. That's what that guy is. Their smallest ever. Energy. So somebody asked about this stuff. We don't obviously have time. We've been going for an hour 40 here. We're not going to get deep into the specifics of these, but if you want to know more about one of them or a couple of them or whatever, drop a note and let me know, and then I can dig into them for you. This is from MillerTech. They're a big sponsor of this event this year, and they've got a couple products here. They've got the 16-volt, 150 amp hour battery here. So this guy is lithium iron phosphate. So the Life PO4, charge voltage to 18.25, float to 17 volts, which is interesting. Really interesting. So it's the 16 volt. So they basically added another pack of the cells in there to bump this thing up higher than before. It's got over 2.7 kilowatt hours of stored energy, keep you powered for days on end. So there you go. There you go. So that's one of the batteries. Somebody wanted to know about batteries. That's what we're looking at there. $1,400 for the 150 amp hour. So you got $1,400. Drop it on that puppy. They've got Abyss Energy. $6,749 is this puppy right here. So you've got, this is like a 40-some volt system. I don't even understand this thing, but you've got a circuit breaker out here on the outside. You've got charger inputs here. Of course, that breaker is to the battery. Like, look at this. Look at this. 105 amp hours at 38.4 volts. It's got 4.03 kilowatt hours of energy. The charge voltage goes to 42.6 volts. The rated charge current is 52 amps. 100 amp max discharge, 30 amp charger input current, 1 and 2. Pretty crazy. They're calling this thing like a power station. And then they got these things to go with it. Looks like line voltage, ground, high voltage, CAN, COM. Somebody tell me. I didn't understand what this was for. Perhaps I'm just too tired to understand it. Let's read this thing. All right, Seal battery, Shark charger, Crystal X3 monitor. Take full command of your marine power system with the Abyss battery ultimate power package, a fully integrated precision engineered solution built for serious anglers, guides, and offshore explorers. Okay. This elite setup combines industry-leading battery technology, intelligent bidirectional charging, and real-time system monitoring to deliver unmatched performance, efficiency, and control in the water. So there you go. Now you know what it does. Maybe I'll swing by their booth and get some more clarification. For all I know, this thing is pretty BA, and I just don't understand it. So I'm going to write it down. We're going to swing by Abyss battery. And I'll get you more clarification either tomorrow night or the following night on this guy. More to come. All right, a few different batteries. Somebody was asking about trolling motor batteries. Here's some trolling motor batteries for you. It's a deep cycle, 24 volt, 75 amp hour. Lithium battery power, LBP is the name of the company. I know nothing about these. I'm not recommending these to you. I'm just telling you that they are here. Don't know anything about them yet. It's got built-in BMS protection. Looks like it's got Bluetooth on it. This is that guy. It does not have heated. Operate between 0 and 140 Fahrenheit. Charge above 32, so it does not have heated charging. So there you go. Do not exceed 10 foot-pounds of torque when installing terminal bolt. Oh, I was talking about a trolling motor. I was like, what the? So there's that guy. This is a 24 volt, 75 amp hour. So the equivalent of a 12 volt, 150 amp hour. Of course, the voltage matters. 1375, which is pretty expensive. They've got a 36 volt, 60 amp hour sitting at $1,800 and a nice charger with it. And then they've got a 3660. Oh, that's the $1,800 price point. They got this puppy here, which is a 12 volt, 100 amp hour at $750. Let's see what it says here. It's light, versatile, and compatible with the newest and best trolling motors on the market, built with patented lithium iron phosphate, Life PO4 chemistry, 26650 cells. This deep cycle 12 volt lithium battery features a high quality built-in battery management system that prioritizes safety and maintenance. Blah, 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 blah. So I don't know what's unique about these. I'm going to talk to some of my smart battery friends and try to understand what the heck what makes them different and unique. But that is what they got. They have a 36 volt, 120 amp hour for $2,800. So you can see they've got some of this stuff out here. There's that 36 volt, 120. That's a lot of power. 4.2 kilowatt hours of energy, 64 pounds. They've got a power box. This guy right here, I thought was pretty unique and nifty. These are 20 amp outlets, which is pretty cool here. 2,400 watt max per port, 120 volt. AC/DC input, USBs. They've got a power delivery 100 watt. That's a good port there. And then they got Gen 1 2.4 USB type A's, which is interesting. And then they've got AC input up to 1,800 watt max. So it's pretty fast charging there. This is a $2,000 portable power station, 2.5 kilowatt hours of battery power built into it. Solar charging. Oh, I think, yeah, this comes with a big solar panel. I don't know how much solar it comes with. I want to say it's like 400 watts. It didn't say on it, but the panel's sitting right next to it. It looks like a pretty nice panel, though. There's your capacity, 1.3. Oh, that's interesting. The battery is 1.3 kilowatt hours. But here it says it's 2.5 kilowatt. Oh, that's not the battery. It can do 2.5 kilowatt probably output. Yeah, 2.4. Evidently, they get to round. Anyways, Pro Guide batteries. So they have the Pro Guide Lithium Alpha line. They have some batteries here. So they've got, as we can see, a bunch of different ones. This is the MSRP $1,249.99 of, I want to say this is, well, I'm sure the picture of the battery comes next. Here we go. This is a 12.8 volt, 235 amp hour, 3 kilowatt hour battery. And this is one of those marine ones that have 3 sets of the posts on the top. So that way you don't need a bunch of bus bars in your boat. You can hook kind of everything up to it here. It is dual purpose, which means it's intended for cranking over your motor in addition to being able to be used for your electronics. $1,249.99. Honestly, not a bad price, but I don't know enough about the product itself. Looks like you can see the state of the charge and the Bluetooth it's got built into it. Might be worth looking into. Amped Outdoors is not here this year. Otherwise, I'm sure they'd probably put some cool stuff in here as well. Kids Tackle, they got some stuff in there. This is not Kids Tackle, but Garmin has their new smartwatch that I think they announced today. This is the Quatix 8 Marine smartwatch. This is a dive watch. It's $1,100. It allows you to communicate, send text messages and stuff when you're under the water diving. They've got like these underwater buoys now. They've got the buoys that are above the water, and you can actually communicate wirelessly with people within 100 meters of where these buoys are, including people above the surface. They can check oxygen tank levels and a lot of other really cool things. Looks like a really freaking nice watch. I might get a Garmin watch at some point. I've got a Samsung watch now because I'm an Android guy. I got a Samsung phone. But I might get a Garmin watch because you can do a lot of cool things with it. You can actually check your charts. You can control your trolling motor. You can use voice control to your chart plotter if you have one of those chart plotters that's compatible with it, like I do. So a lot of cool things with the Garmin ecosystem. And Garmin's watches are known to be very high quality, also very expensive. This I thought was interesting. This is like a hot water shower for like outdoor camping, or of course, if you're going to be fishing, throw this in the back of your truck. If you're doing overnights, like a camping trip or something like that, and you don't have running water, well, now you do. All right. So the way that this works, you can pop it up here. You can see you can walk inside. You got your pump there for the water. This is called the all-new 2025 Outback Shower. Manufacturer's suggested retail price is $698. So that's what this puppy is doing here. Hot showers in the wild, too easy. It delivers instant heat because it's got a 1-pound propane tank that screws into it. As we can see here, it's just sitting in here, but there's actually a spot for it right up in the front. And then it's got lights up top and a shower head at the top. So it's actually going to come down from the top. You can black out all the sides there so you have privacy. Your towel goes underneath this so that way your towel does not get wet, which is pretty awesome. They thought of it all. And of course, in here is where you would put the water heater and your water and all that out here. So that way you are not going to be running into an issue. And of course, this just can sit in water, pull in water, heat it up, and you're good to go. This is what it looks like from the outside. And you can have a rod for drying your towels on the outside. Pretty cool. They've got fishing drones kind of getting into the electronics now, which is pretty exciting. Fishing drones. So this is another one of the X-Piece 4Ks, $2,700. It comes with the controller. This thing has a 4K camera on it, from my understanding, and it's got better battery life. It basically is intended to fly out, drop your line with your bait on it right on top of fish. Because if you've ever flown a drone over water and you look directly straight down in the water, you can see incredibly well. Way better than at an angle. Some sunglasses will help knock that glare off with the polarization on them. But these things, because you can see straight down in the water, and at times if you get high enough up, you can see big areas. You can be like, oh, there's some weeds over there. I'm going to go over there. Oh, I see a school of fish. And you can literally have your line hooked up to it, like free spooling out, and it will drop your bait right on it. So pretty cool stuff. That's what these are actually for and what the intended purposes of them. And the 4K obviously gets you better clarity, so that way you can see kind of where you're going with it. Hopefully captures some pretty cool footage as well. But that is what these guys are. They had a few of them at the show last year as well. And then Russell Marine Products has their Flex 19. This is their 19-inch screen. I'm going to stop by Russell Marine Products while at the show as well to learn more about the different products they have. They got something different going on with this Flex hub. I think with Lowrance, I don't know if it's just required with Lowrance versus the others, but it's essentially like an NBT Marine type screen, an external screen that does mirroring. It doesn't work as a chart plotter screen alone. It has to be hooked up to another one. Power pole. We talked about this on the FGTN show a few weeks ago, probably maybe even a couple of months ago. Power pole announced they have their Power Pole Vision. This is a unit that has a camera built into it. You can actually go live from it. You can check out, you can control all your power pole stuff. You can check out mapping on it. It's basically an Android interactive tablet on it as well. You can do tons of different things, play music, play videos, play game, like do a ton of different things on it. Take pictures, share them online. So pretty cool. I wanted to get one of these puppies. They have two different sizes, the 7 and the 12-inch. So I'm going to swing by Power Pole, of course, while we're out here as well, to see when these are hitting stores, because I heard they're not out yet. You can see what it looks like, and my awkward self taking a picture with my phone so I could show you guys tonight here. This is the infotainment display. The $2,000 is for the 12-inch screen, which is the bigger one. And you can see right here, it's a Google certified marine infotainment display. Controls all PowerPole products from a single glare-free touchscreen. It's funny that they say glare-free, because there's definitely no glare here. Anyways, while running your favorite apps for navigation, fishing, entertainment, and more, with built-in Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, voice control, and an HD action camera, Vision delivers total control, safety, and convenience right from the helm. Also, in the electronics category, that is right, Ping Live Mini Sonar is now live from AccuFi. Of course, I'm going to swing by AccuFi, and I'll get a video on this for you all, so that way you can see what's going on there. But this is kind of like that LVS 12, kind of like the Eagle Eye 9, where it's the super simple small transducer right here. It is very small. It is a fixed mount, so you don't need to be swiveling it around. It is the one beam surface, and essentially what you get is you get 39-degree live forward view, and then you can get a down view. But what's really cool about what they did is they allow you to do a combo view, which basically gives you down view, forward view, and there's just a little bit of black in the middle here, but you can show both at the same time, which is pretty cool. There's a video. We don't have enough time tonight. Maybe in a future video or in that dedicated video, I will show that in there, but that's pretty cool. And this is $550, so accessible as heck. It says that it works with, hold on, app-based sonar that can connect to iPad, iPhone, and numerous Android devices via USB-C adapter or Wi-Fi. I've been waiting for the Android support, and now it's here. Because check this. If it supports Android, it technically would work with this guy. Now, granted, yeah, I mean, then you're like, oh, you're going to pay $1,500 or $2,000 for one of these, and then you just should have bought LiveScope or something like a Screen Plus. But interesting, because the Ping Live Sonar, the normal one, that has all of the beams, still only works on iOS as well. So I'm going to try to get some information on when Android support will be coming out. But that's that guy from AccuFi. That is what it looks like. And they've got the one Wi-Fi router, which gives you the wireless signal as well. So they've got the Live Mini coming out. I will definitely be putting a video out on this as well, so that way you can all check it out. I thought this was interesting. This is a product called Sensar Marine Boat Monitor. It's essentially a tag that you can put on your boat that allows you to install in minutes maintenance-free boat monitor that tracks your boat batteries, the bilge pump activity, motion, and GPS location. It sends instant alerts via SMS and logs every trip automatically, operating 24/7 without parasitic power draw. The boat monitor is fully waterproof, ruggedly built in Norway, and backed by a 5-year warranty. It's $399 MSRP and a global subscription of only $10 per month for all of that texting and data and all of that. And so you can see, like, if you dock your boat somewhere, you can actually keep an eye on your boat. And if it starts moving, you can get alerted as well. And then, of course, have GPS signal wherever the heck the thing goes, which is pretty dang cool. It's $400. They've got, of course, I'm going to check it out while I'm here as well. This is the new Ultra 2 16-inch Echo Map from Garmin. So they've got it on display here. This is the big boy with the HDMI out on it. That is out on the market now. $47.99. Hey, look. More shoes and somebody else's shoes again. Cobra Electronics has announced a few new radios. Big feature here is their two-way radios as well as VHF as well. So you can interact with people, some new designs and some new features on them. I took a picture of a couple of them here. They've got those. Here's the heated thing that we were talking about last week. You can see they've got a USB-C and a lightning version of it. Plug into your phone. That's a heat thing there. So if you got mosquito bites, bee stings, all of those things, you can actually, with your phone and an app, literally take care of that itching. I kind of want to pick one up, but they don't sell them here. I'm going to see if they'll give me just a free sample on here. Grab it. But that is what that is. It's $40. Pretty interesting. And then Deeper announced their Deeper Max here. I'll have to talk to them about it. So we got to swing by the Deeper booth. Gosh, there's so many things to still investigate. These are only the things that we know of. There's still like way more brands and products that weren't entered in the product showcase that we're going to probably see out there as well. The wait's over. The ultimate castable fish finder for advanced anglers is here. You can create detailed 3D fishing maps, see high clarity live sonar readings, and fish smarter from the shore, kayak, or ice. Lightweight, easy to use, and powered by the feature-rich Fish Deeper app. Deeper Max gives you the edge with every cast. 15-hour battery life, 393-foot connection range, and 330-foot scanning depth will ensure you catch that trophy fish. $279. 3D mapping is going to be pretty cool to check out. That's gonna be pretty freaking cool. I'm excited about it. So that's what the Deeper ball looks like. And then Aquaview announced a new camera called the Captain by Outdoors Insight. It's actually 2 cameras and a screen. Meet the Captain, your ultimate co-pilot. We'll have to talk more about this guy, Aquaview. So ultimate co-pilot on the water or trail, rugged weatherproof display, keeps you connected and protected wherever adventure leads. It's not just for boats, but it's built for UTVs, ATVs, golf carts, snowmobiles. The Captain combines Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, front and rear safety cameras, built-in DVR recording into one powerful all-in-one screen. So you can see you've got a front camera, a back camera, which are these 2 cameras here. You've got a GPS locator here. You've got it all on this weatherproof screen. And supposedly you can do recording. We can see here we got Android Auto / Apple CarPlay built into it as well. So some pretty cool stuff. I'm trying to think of the use case to be able to throw it on my ATV and why I would want to do that other than capturing video. I guess that's what it's for, but it is $600. It looks like they partnered with Outdoors Insight to bring this to life. TheCaptainCam.com if you want to see more, or you can email Colt at aquaview.com, Colt Ringer. I'll try to find them here at the show and get some more detail on it as well. Here's another picture without the glass in the way of the screen and the cameras there and the GPS. This I thought was interesting. This is the Proof Ball. So they got 2 different size balls here, a 1.4 and a 2.1. Essentially, all you do is you take a picture of your fish with this in the photo, and then this app knows exactly the dimensions of that. And so based off of the photo, it can measure that ball, apply that measurement to your fish, and know exactly how big your fish is, which is pretty cool. Kind of interesting. It's fish techie. It's $20 ball, and it is you can enter virtual tourneys with it. Pretty cool. Pretty dang cool. SIG has some stabilized binoculars. So if you're ever looking for binoculars, these ones are stabilized, so they're electronic. So that way, if you're looking really far away, your hands jiggle a little bit, or you move, or you're in the waves or whatever, this stabilizes all of that for you, which is pretty cool. I tested them out in there, and they actually work pretty good. Tons of different sunglasses, tons and tons of sunglasses. And then, of course, here's the Garmin Force Current. That is here as well. This is the new kayak trolling motor from Garmin that was announced this year, and that is out on the market now. We'll be stopping by the Garmin booth to check out more as well, but that is out, and that price point is $35.99. And then they have things such as this, which is why I don't think anybody that watches this is a saltwater fisherman, but these are the reasons why. This reel is a 24-volt reel, saltwater fishing reel, $7,500. Yeah. I just took a picture of it because I thought it was funny. But it's like a real product. Like, those are the types of products that are here for saltwater fishermen. And there's a lot of saltwater products here, and I just don't cover them. Another thing from Busby this year that's new is they've got the Busby Colony 28T with slotted foam. So it's their 28T box, and they've got the slotted foam down in the bottom of the bins. That's the only difference. They've got that going on. And then here's what that looks like for whoever wanted to look at that pull tabs again. All right, do we have anything else? Okay, so this is another view of where you can put your line from Busby in this little case here that they've got. And then we've got the kayaks. Here's that other kayak. Here's the kayak that they slipped in at the end that was not there when we were looking at it earlier. So I'll have to go back and look at it tomorrow. This is the Solstice kayak that that they slipped in here. So that's what this guy is right here. If you want to check it out, I will get some more information on it, and maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow night. So let me know what you think. There's that Silent North again, that Viking. The one that I think will win the category, the jet-powered kayak, the RAILBLAZA, the Mule. And here's just a quick example of, like, they've got a casting area. So this will be open tomorrow where people can actually cast, test out lures, rods, reels, the whole shebang. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the pre-kickoff to the ICAST show. In some of that's just a tiny fraction of the new products that we're going to see here. Let me know down in the comments what you thought was the coolest thing that you saw so far, what you're jacked up and jazzed about, and then what do you want me to go find out more information on. I'm here all day tomorrow, all day the next day. When I say tomorrow, I actually mean now. It is 1:24 a.m. right now, and I think the show opens in 6.5 hours. So I better get some sleep so I can do some filming tomorrow, because I got like 12 hours of filming tomorrow too. So it's going to be a busy one. But let me know, what do you want to see? Members of the channel, we will be going live from the show floor tomorrow and the next day. Members only lives in the mornings, sometime during the day before we go live at night. So if you want to support the channel, I think it's a really small fee. I appreciate it. It helps me do this stuff for everybody here. I don't take sponsors from any fishing gear tech brands. That way, you know, I'm not bought out, paid out, or anything like that from any of the brands. And it's all unbiased advice. So appreciate each and every one of you members. We'll check out comments here, and then we'll wind up for the night. So I appreciate you all. Let us take a peek. The ions are 15.9 and 16.3 pounds. Good to know. The deeper sonar, I did a little bit last week, and then I talked about it tonight a little bit, Nathan, just a little bit. I will stop by the deeper booth tomorrow once the exhibit floor opens and get some more information, and then that'll be a dedicated video as well. And if there's anything like super interesting that I didn't hit on, I'll make sure we talk about it in the tomorrow. We're going to do a live tomorrow night as well after the show at around 10 p.m. Central again. And what that'll be is all of the other cool new products that I found while walking the show floor. Last year, I did the same type of video here, and then I had 2 other full days on the show floor, and I didn't even see everything. So I got to be on purpose this year. So there's a lot to come. Don't think we're going to run out of stuff to talk about, because that's not real. Yes, that was a LiveScope mount from Beatdown. Looks like the Captain's Bridge. Ridiculous for a battery, yes. Anything new in forward-facing sonar? Biggest things that are new for forward-facing sonar is the Ping Live Mini sonar, which I'll get more information on, and we'll swing by over there. And Humminbird doesn't have anything. Garmin doesn't have anything for forward-facing sonar, and Lowrance doesn't have anything, because they all came out. Well, I guess you could say Garmin came out with their thing last year, which was like the PS22 ice fishing poleless design. Megalive 2 came out within the last year, and Lowrance's Eagle Eye 9 came out last year at ICAST. So none of them are releasing any new forward-facing sonar at the show. It wouldn't be until probably late ice season at the earliest we'd see anything from them, if they're even going to launch anything. I do expect other brands outside of the big 3 to release some forward-facing sonar stuff. In addition to, of course, what we saw from AccuFi. There's a brand that we know of that is an ice fishing brand that should be coming out with something, but we just don't know when yet. I thought it was going to come out last year, but it hasn't yet. So stay tuned for that. But I personally waited for today to find out if there was something crazy cool coming out that I did not know about, because otherwise I was going to swap out my LiveScope, my LVS 32 to a 34, and maybe get another one. And now I'm going to do that, because Garmin's not going to do anything for at least 6 months would be my guess. Pretty sure that Deeper Max is just the USA version of the Chirp +3. It could be, Josh. It definitely could be. Ask the Deeper guys if the Max is basically the Chirp +3. I'll ask them. Well, because I know that they have weird names for almost the same products for sure. And I think we in the USA get them a little bit after other people. So I think you could be spot on. But I'll ask them tomorrow. The Chirp +3. Okay, cool. Well, thank you all again so much for tuning in. This was a long episode, 2 hours, 9 minutes going strong here. So thank you so much. We will talk to you tomorrow. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button. And again, drop down in the comments what you want to see from ICAST this year. Take it easy. Bye.